this segment of the wrap rejuvenation of this beautiful flat in Amsterdam using cover style interior film and tips and tricks from the Wrap Institute, you are going to see how to take a factory stainless steel vent and transform it into a stunning brushed metallic gold that matches the wrapped refrigerator and cabinets. Let's wrap and roll. The first step is to remove any pieces that come off easily. In this case, the 3 covers in the middle, the buttons on the side, and now it's time for cleaning. Vents are notoriously greasy, and Sot Surface Cleaner 2 is a perfect solution. Spray it thoroughly over the entire vent, let it sit for a minute so it gets underneath the grease, then simply wipe it away with a blue paper towel. Once all the grease is removed from the main surface and the edges, it's time to put masking tape on the outside to lower the surface energy to make the wrapping process easier. Now apply cover style primer to all the edges. This helps the film hold for the long term. Apply a nice even coat around the entire outside as well as all the edges on the inside. Be extra thorough during this process. Keep in mind the primer has to dry for about 10 to 15 minutes before install, so this is a good window to get the panels cut down and ready to go. Be sure to use this special tool from Cover Style that just cuts the backing paper and cut a section away about 2 or 3 centimeters wide from one side of the panel, roughly 10 centimeters in from the edge. Once the panel is in position, lock the panel into place. Once the panel is locked into place, then remove the liner from the small side. Squeegee it onto the surface, in this case with a Pro Wings squeegee. Then pull the liner away from the other side and keep it around halfway on. Hold the material away from the surface with the free hand, then squeegee above and below the vent in even squeegee strokes. Once past the opening, then squeegee the material all the way to the edge. Now it's time to form the film around the corners top and bottom. With an application glove on, form the film around the corner first, then pinch it to create a nice tight seal. Then once it's formed on the corner, it can be squeegeed onto the main flat area, then trimmed away from the top edge. Repeat the exact same steps for the other side and tuck it to the base. Cut away the excess film with a sharp knife. The blade should run along the edge of the vent. Remove the excess film and the masking tape in one shot. Always seal the edge with a squeegee. Cut away any open gaps, in this case where the lights were. And now it's time to trim the material inside the main area. Cut away the excess film with just enough remaining so that it doesn't come short from the edge. Always use a short blade and make an enclosed cut. Once the middle section has been removed, it's now time to form the film to the edge. The first step is to relax the film. Use a heat gun and do a 360 on the edges. You can see the film wrinkle, then flatten out and create what's called glass. Then form the film around the edge with the finger. This helps create that nice tight seal. Then make a relief cut on all 4 corners at a 45-degree angle. Relax the film one more time with the finger and heat and take it to the inside edge. Cut the excess film away flush on the edge at a 90-degree angle and repeat the same steps for all sides. Cut away any holes where buttons will go, clean and flush, and now it's time for the covers in the middle. Spray it with Sot Surface Cleaner 2. Use a plastic scraper to remove any oil that is built up on these areas, and work from one side to the other and sop it up at the end with a blue paper towel. Once the main surface has been degreased, focus on the edges and be extra thorough because again, a lot of oil builds up on these vents. Apply cover style primer on all the edges. Make sure there's an even coverage on the brush, then simply do a 360. Once the cover style primer has dried, now it's time for install. Make sure there's enough material left to right, top and bottom, and this particular interior film, brushed metallic, has lines. Make sure they're even and symmetrical on this piece and they match up with the main area that was just applied. Release the liner roughly a third of the way, lock it onto the main surface area, pull the liner again, keep the material from touching the surface prematurely, then squeegee it on in a nice firm squeegee stroke. In this particular case, with the width of the Pro Wing, it covers from side to side, so it's just one stroke. Now we get to the corners. Heat the film so it relaxes. make a relief cut, and these particular vents have open sides on the corners. So the material is simply rounded on the top corner, formed around this edge. Once it's taken to the flat area, then it's simply just cut flush to the open gap corners. Once the short sides are done, now for the long side, add heat, run a finger on the top corner for that tight seal. Once it's formed around the corner, then take the material all the way to the edge. Work in a nice overlapping stroke, cut the material flush to that open gap corner. Then once the corners are done, cut the material safely away at the bottom. Once the excess film has been cut away, remove the excess film, then come back in with heat and a finger to make sure that edge is 100% sealed. Repeat the exact same steps for the other panels and do a good quality check to make sure they're down nice and tight, and then simply just reinstall them along with the other hardware, the lights at the bottom and the buttons on the side. And remember, this is what the vent looked like before, and with just 2 meters of brushed metallic interior film from CoverStyle and these tips and tricks from the Wrap Institute, it now looks like this. Beautiful gold brushed metallic that matches the refrigerator and the cabinets, so it looks stunningly stylish and is easy to clean. To upgrade an object like this in your office or home with interior wrap film, keep in mind that you can go to coverstyle.com or a CoverStyle distributor in your region to purchase the wrap film and hire a professional installer. Or you can even do it yourself using the tips and tricks from this video or a more detailed video for professionals that is on the Wrap Institute. You can also take a workshop at CoverStyle headquarters in Luxembourg to get hands-on training as well. And be sure to check out the other videos in this Wrap Rejuvenation series on this flat in Amsterdam to get inspired and for great install tips and tricks.